our second part, our second recording. So this diagram will talk about the previous video, right? So we were saying this. The host bits must change, will change to what? What does it mean again? It means this, right? The host bit is always what? 0. The zeros will change to what? To 1. Right? This means that bits, the part of the host portion. The host portion of an IP address. Of an IP address, right? Bits, this one is bits. We can even put it inside. I want to draw because it's so easy to understand. Bits, part of network portion of an IP address. So when you have an IP address, you remember from the subnet, right? From the subnet mask, wherever you can see 255 means what? 1111 means this is the network part. Wherever there is .0, it's what? The host part, right? Now you're gonna take that host part to convert it to 1. Did you understand? So 255 is the network part, but we're gonna see it from. I'm waiting you to finish. Right? When you are done, just let me know so that we can move forward. So the host bits will change to network bits. Right? So all the zeros from the subnet, you're going to change it to what? To 1s. Did you understand? But it's going to be very clear soon when I'm going to write this, right? So it means also what? We are stealing bits from the host. We give it to what? We give it to the networks. So this one means what? So subnetting, the process means what? We are stealing bits, right? From the host, we are giving to the network. So it means that stealing is 2L.
Nope.
1L. Oh, because in French, when you are putting, you must double. You are stealing bits from where? From the host. And you assign it to what? To the network. This is the meaning. Right? So the whole process means what? We are stealing or borrowing. Sometimes it's saying we borrow. Borrowing. So we are borrowing bits from the host part. We give those bits where? To the networks. This is the meaning. Changing 0 to 1s means that. So I'm saying, okay, you are the host part, but I'm gonna take something from you and give it to what? To the network part. In order for my network part to be larger and split it. Right? So we are going to start borrowing some zeros from the host, change them to 1s. This is the meaning, right? And when you are doing so, what is the consequences? Right? When you are taking people from one room, you send them to another room. What's going to happen? That second room will be larger, right? So do you understand? Like you have 5 people in one room, right? Now you're going to split them in different rooms. Like one room will have one child, right? You are going to have so many networks So many rooms, but few people inside. Did you understand? The way you are sitting here, it's one class. By trying splitting you in smaller classes, what's going to happen? So I'm going to have many classes, but small people inside. So when you are doing subnetting, when you are borrowing bits from the host part, sending those bits to the network part, what is the consequences? You are going to have many networks, many subnetworks, but for every subnetwork, you are going to have few IPs. This is the meaning. Few IPs. Do you understand? You are going to create so many networks, maybe 10, maybe 20, but for every subnet, you are going to have few IPs now. This is one of the problems that will happen. For short, I can split you in different classes, but now for every class, you are going to be few. You cannot be like here, 20 or something here. You are going to be very few students per class. This is the meaning. So when you split a larger network to a smaller network, when you are borrowing bits from the host part and you are sending them to a network part, what's going to happen? You are going to have so many sub-networks, but few hosts. Right? Let's see now the next part. I think we finished this one. Okay. Okay. Can I write, please? We are done with everything, right? I think we are moving fine. Now, because we want to create subnets, right? Now, how to have those smaller networks, those subnets? Possible number of subnets, right? So, when you have a large network, you can try to assume, you can try to find how many subnets can I have by borrowing bits. How many bits am I going to borrow from the host part? When I'm borrowing those number of bits, how many subnets am I going to be creating? You must use this formula. Easy formula. 2 to the power of n. This is the formula that we're going to be using. So for you to know number of rooms you are going to have, like in your house, you must use which formula? 2 to the power of n. Now the n means what? This n means the number of host bits borrowed. Number how to write number? Number of host bits borrowed. Right? So because you got one house, you want to split that house in different rooms. Now the question is, how many rooms am I gonna have? You have one network. You have to split it into different smaller networks. The question is, how many smaller networks am I gonna have from this network? How many bits am I gonna borrow from the host? Right? Now we're gonna have a table from here that will allow us to do so. One column I can say bits borrowed. Bits borrowed. The second column I can say formula, the formula that we're gonna use, and possible subnets. Subnets. Right? Very easy. let's say I'm gonna borrow 1 bit, right? So when I'm borrowing 1, what's the formula gonna be? 2 to the power of what? Of 1. Did you understand?
Yes.
2 to the power of 1, because I'm borrowing 1 bit. So how many subnets? 2 subnets. 2 to the power of 1 is what?
2.
So you know already that when I'm borrowing 1 bit, I can only have 2 subnets. When I'm borrowing 2 bits, how the formula gonna be? 2 to the power of 2. 2 to the power of 2 means 2 times 2, right? You have to multiply the base 2 times. That's gonna be how many subnets?
4 subnets.
4 subnets. When you are borrowing 3, means 2 to the power of 3. 2 to the power of 3 means multiply 2 3 times. 2 times 2 times 2. That's gonna be what? 8. That's gonna be 8 subnets. Did you understand?
Yes.
Now what you must do, I'm gonna give you an exercise. You must go up to 10 for yourself. When you borrow 4 bits, how many subnets? When you borrow 5 bits, how many subnets? Right? You have to carry on with the table. The table must go like up to 10. Right? So when you wanna create different rooms for your house, when you wanna create different subnets for your network, you have to ask a question. How many bits am I gonna borrow? Right? So if am I gonna borrow 2 bits, means 2 to the power of 2. That's gonna be 4. If I'm going to borrow 3 bits, means 2 to the power of 3. That's gonna be 8. If I'm going to borrow 4 bits, means 2 to the power of 4. That's gonna be 16 subnets. Carry on, guys. I'm going to check what you're going to do and check if everybody can borrow up to 10 bits and how many possible subnets. Thank you very much.